What is up, guitar playing people? We are back with another weekly practice session, something you can use before all of the songs and solos you want to learn, right? The front end of your session, dialing your technique, get better at guitar, and then move on with your life. So if you plan on playing guitar every single day of this week, use this every single day, all right? All of the exercises are timed, so if you need to pull back a little bit, you can just adjust the timer slightly, and you'll have a shorter practice session. I do think 20 minutes is optimal in this context, but you might not have that much time to play guitar, and so you might need to adjust. This is for all of you people who really want to up your skills, get better and better at guitar. Maybe you're in that kind of plateauing phase of your playing, and you need something to bring you to that next level. Oftentimes, it's just making sure you practice technical skills, get repetitive with it, and then move into the songs and solos you want to learn, because, you know, so often, right, intermediates, I want to play this song, but I don't quite have this down, or my hands aren't quite strong enough. Got to do your exercises, got to do your drills. So that's kind of my sell, that's my spiel. But today I'm looking at my notes. We've got a bunch of stuff, some, drills for speed, some good kind of theory or, triad stuff for, some theory baked in, and also just positioning and great voicings for, playing in a band, or maybe you're writing your own stuff and you want to just record it and, come up with your own, voicings and everything inside of the songs you're playing, accompaniments, I should say. And then some strumming, and we've got a cool, I'm a Stevie Ray Vaughan guy for life. Stevie Ray Vaughan guy for life. So we've got a Stevie Ray Vaughan lick to finish things off. So kind of, going through things with regard to difficulty. And that's the deal. If you do find this approach helpful, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is all free of charge. So that's the least you could do for me, And all of the exercises are accessible through a downloadable PDF in the description. So you don't have to come back to this video every single day. You can just download that stuff and have it at the ready, go through it, and then get into all of the more fun stuff. I find this stuff to be fun. Getting better at guitar is fun for me. So, but jump into it and then move on with your life. Okay. Exercise 1 is about getting faster, but I also think the first exercise should always be about kind of connecting with the guitar. Last week I used the analogy of like the Avatar hair coming together and kind of syncing you up. I think that's what the first exercise should do. So 5-minute timer, and here is the exercise. So going through that position 3 times, and then we'll move up. Another 3 times, and then back down to the first position. Right? Moving from position to position for 5 minutes. Now, as you see, once I got back to that first position, I sped things up. Here's what I would recommend. Start at a speed that's way, like, almost too comfortable. Right? Something that you can nail, because that's going to allow you to dial in your touch and feel. Every exercise has touch and feel for the picking and fretting hand baked in, because everything we want to play involves kicking hand and fretting hand. All right, so we want to make sure that we get that dialed in. So being light, not, over plucking. Because when you want to start speeding up, you're not going to want to be too grippy with your fretting hand, and you're going to, not want to be too grippy with the pick. So nice and light. First, minute, 2 minutes, 90 seconds, whatever you feel is best, keep your eye on the timer, go with that pace. As you start feeling good, increase the pace. Now, the limiting factor, I think, is the final position. So because a lot of people are limited with their pinky dexterity, and that's a good amount of pinky. So that final position, it's not to say there isn't pinky on the first two. There's something about starting and having that second pinky piece inside of that last position that I think, just based on my experience with students, can be more difficult. So just make sure it's consistent. So if that's limiting you, then you better stay there for all the other positions as well. Don't just adjust things based on that final position. All right. So again, comfortable. Right. And then move up, get faster and faster and faster. Obviously, don't go as fast as I did on that last one where you make a mistake. You get the idea. I don't beat you over the head with that. Be a little cleaner than I just was. Again, metronome that feels comfortable. Don't speed it up to a place where it's uncomfortable, but maybe something that requires you to push a little bit. But of course, allow your mind-muscle connection to kind of turn on in the beginning before you start cranking it up, if that makes sense. All right. So there's exercise 1. By the time you're done, fingers are feeling pretty good, and you're kind of in tune with your instrument. Always get in tune with your freaking instrument. All right. So 5 minutes. And if you're thinking, I always say this, that's so boring. Well, some of you want to really up your skills and you'll be willing to put in the work, in which case, for me, stuff like that isn't boring. I love, dialing in, getting connected. And oftentimes those 5 minutes fly by because I'm really enjoying refining my technique. All right. So it's okay if this isn't for you. All right. Don't yell at me in the comments. If it's not for you, you can play your own way. It's all good. This next piece is all of the triad inversions in one key. So we're going to take all of the triad inversions in the key of G major. All right. And really quick before we jump in, just for a little bit of theory for those of you who want to be theory heads, right? In every major scale, we've got 7 notes. So Q, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, right back to 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to 1. All right. Each one of those notes has a corresponding chord. All right. So again, just for your recognition, if you're not already familiar with this, when we, have our G, that's a major, right? G major scale. So it starts on major chord, major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, back to the first chord of the scale, which would be major, of course. All right, so just keep that in mind as we go through this. All we're going to do, G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp diminish, G. All right, if you want to switch it up, you can go back in the opposite direction. But I think you're getting all the skills under your fingers by just repeating. But you want to make sure you have an understanding of, why we're doing everything we're doing, or, the reasoning behind that. So the first 2 chords, if you think about the cage system, right? C, A, G, E, D, all of those open chord positions, those first 2 chords, first 2 triad inversions will be based on the E position. Right, so they're the top 3 strings of those bar chords. Right, so we've got a major and a minor in those positions, and then we've got the C positions, or excuse me, the A positions. We're going to be playing in D minor and C. So the A shape moved up, right, to C would look like that. So we're playing the minor version of that, B minor, and then C, so taking that A shape and moving it up. And then we've got the D shape, which we're actually playing, D. And then if a D was a minor, that's what D minor would look like. We're moving that up so that it's an E minor. And then we got diminished. So think about F sharp minor. We're flatting the 5th to make it diminished. And then back to G. This is really important for, moving around the neck fluidly. So if somebody says, give me a 1, 2, 4, 5 progression in the key of C, right, instead of G, well, we know number 1, the first chord is going to be C major. C, D, there's no sharps or flats in the key of C, so C is 1, 1, 2, 4, 5. D minor would be 2, which means, E minor would be 3. Okay, so, F major, that's 4. F major, and then G right here, and we're using those same inversions, just moving them up, and then back to C. And now you've got that progression 1, 2, 4, 5 in any key, because you can just kind of sound it out almost like learning to spell. But all this exercise is just going through the entire major scale with triads. And say them out loud if you need to, all right? Metronome that's slow enough because you're kind of working on some like concepts that have to do with less with playing and more with your knowledge. It's okay if it's really slow. You want to kind of sound that out. G major, 2, 3, 4. A minor, 2, 3, 4. B minor, 2, 3, 4. C major, 2, 3, 4. D major, 2, 3, 4. E minor, 2, 3, 4. F sharp diminish, 2, 3, 4. G major. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Look to play them clean, right? Sound them out. Make sure you're nailing that. And if you want to move it around the neck, be my freaking guest. It's a lovely way to do things as well, okay? So there's every triad inside of the key of G, and there you have it, and all on the 3-2-1 string set specifically, okay? For those of you who are more advanced, you can play different inversions, and obviously all of these exercises, I think, are accessible for any skill level. It's just how you approach it, how you adjust the BPM, and how you play through it, okay? So let's move on to exercise 3, a little strumming. So there's the strumming pattern I'm going with. Is just 2 chords that got C major 7 and D minor 7. And lots of songs are in that. Most notably in my mind is like Valerie. That would be transposed down. I think they are playing in F major. So I think it's F major 7 when they're playing it. Don't quote me on that. But anyways, it's the same, same progression. We're going C major 7 and then D minor 7. And I chose that strumming pattern. It's very similar to the strumming pattern on, the Incubus song, Drive. So a very similar strumming pattern there. Just something funky to loosen us up. And you want to, throw in some rhythm work from time to time. It's not as cool and fun and fancy, but rhythm work is really important. So we're going 2 notes, right? So 2 notes, down, up, and then we're muting. And then 1 more downstroke. Moving up to the next chord. And then back and forth. And just, take your time. Put a metronome on. I realize that without a rhythm drum track metronome, that might have sounded a bit off. That is the point of playing with a metronome. That is the point of warming up. So if this was me taking my warm-up seriously, there would be a really comfortable metronome on to make sure I'm in the pocket, I'm grooving before, again, I move into all the other songs and solos I want to learn, so that my rhythm is there, my timing is there. Because without it, it can be a bit sloppy, a bit messy. All right? But that's it. That's exercise 3. Strumming, rhythm. Maybe you're a better dancer than this. Great. Good for you. But there it is. So we've got, warm up for the, speed, alternate picking, fretting handwork, triads in every key, some strumming. Now let's have a little fun. We've got an SRV lick, a Stevie Ray Vaughan lick in the key of A. So you can either play this with a metronome. You can play it without a metronome to just get the technique down. And then, that's totally fine. Or you can play it with a backing track. You can put an A blues backing track behind it. I'll link one right here. And you can use that A blues backing track, still set a 5-minute timer, and there you have it. And you can work through this for 5 minutes. And don't get lazy. Come on, 5 minutes of playing a cool lick, then you'll get it down pat. Your fingers will get strong in that position, and then all of a sudden it can be your lick, and you can use it as a piece of your solos and everything. All right. So here is the Stevie Ray Vaughan lick that is also exercise number 4. So there's the lick. We've got a nice bend, a gradual bend from 7 up to 9, so a whole step bend. Make sure you're really measuring that out slowly if you're, not as competent with your bends. It should end on that note. Right? So you should hear it happen. And then we've got, the rest of the lick basically. There's some hammer-ons after that and a small bend on the back end. Right? A little bit of a faster bend. Some alternate picking to bring you down that pentatonic shape. Lingering here, the vibrato, I'm just basically making these small little wriggling motions, pulling down on the string, resetting to get that vibrato. And then some hammer-ons and some pull-offs, and there you have it. I'll do it one more time slowly. You can go as slow as you freaking want. Break it up into different pieces. Just 5 minutes to play with something where you kind of take skills, bring them all together into a cool, applicable piece. This is all applicable, but something that maybe is more fun, so to speak. But there's 4 exercises, 20 minutes. If you cut them in half and just go 2.5 minutes per exercise, 10 minutes. You got the 10 minutes, man. Come on. But I think these things are really, really helpful, really important to getting to that next phase. Reinforcing positions, getting stronger in positions because of the repetition, right? Just like any athlete, you gotta work your form shooting if you want to get good at basketball. You don't just get to go into a game time scenario. So same thing with your guitar playing. Don't jump right into the songs and solos. Get your technique down, and then that'll make those transitions to the songs and solos that much easier. All right, but if you did find this helpful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. There are going to be new practice sessions every single week, so you can be really well-rounded. This week was different from last week. Next week will be different from this, so on and so forth. And they're free of charge. Come on, that's so nice of me, right? I'm a nice guy. All right, let's leave it there, and I will see you all on the next one. Peace.